Michael? Michael, could you raise your
Yes.
right hand, swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Thank you. Okay, Phil, could you put that in the record, please?
Yes, sir. This is case number 1 on today's list, MI 2021-005-209 for the property located at 230 South Ithian Street, Ithan. The appellants are Stephanie and Michael Brown.
Okay, Tom Robakowski, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about the case?
so what we have is we have the property at 230 South Ithan Street has been declared unsafe for conditions of the front porch. It is also, it involves the property next door, which is 228 South Ithan. Both properties have been declared unsafe. In the interest of time, I will share my screen to show a photo of the condition and what's been declared as unsafe with conditions of the front porch. The appellant, as everybody has a copy of the appeal, it just says that we are aware that the porch roof is in desperate need of repair and so on, and that they are in the process of getting quotes from contractors. The appeal was filed back in 2021. I would anticipate that quotes have been already gotten and received, and then we would be looking, my assertion to the board would be we would be looking for a make safe permit to be obtained or under review by the department within the next 60 days. But with that said, I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Can everybody see the screen?
We can see the screen, but there's nothing on it.
How
There
about
we
now?
go. There we go. Yep.
Okay, so what we have is, this is just the appeal with the notice, but I'll go right to the photographs. What we have is, this is the common right between the two properties, and it just needs to be stabilized. You can see that there's a accumulation of structural members that have suffered some wood rot between the two properties. So we would ask that the two responsible parties, both 2028 and 2030, come together and make the necessary repairs. As that happens, that's not jurisdiction for the board. The board's ruling is to basically listen to the case, whether or not it's warranted, and then make the ruling. So with that said, I'll stop sharing my screen and ask that we'd be okay with 60 days to obtain a permit.
Okay, Stephanie and Michael, could you tell me your side of the story?
We did get a few quotes from contractors, in addition to reaching out to the Philadelphia Housing Development, is that it?
Philadelphia
PH?
Housing Development, yeah.
Yeah, and they were on board to do repairs on the house. However, once they sent someone out to do the roof, they did the roof,
They
the
did
top
the roof because they said they didn't, and we were told later that they didn't do porch roofs.
So we went through that whole process and they turned, eventually told us that they didn't do porch roofs.
And this was back in, I believe, March.
That was March of this year.
Yeah.
So now we're back to square one of trying to get funding to get this porch roof fixed.
So Ms. Brown, just so have you spoken to the supervisor at PHDC?
I haven't.
Yeah. The contractor who came out and started doing the roof contacted the supervisor because I told them specifically, we put in a form for porch roof. So he called to verify, and the supervisor said that they did not do porch roofs, even though that is what we applied for. It says specifically porch roof.
Okay, because I was going to ask specifically because I know that Miguel Torres is one of the supervisors. Did you speak to Mr. Torres himself?
No.
I would reach out to your council person and I would also reach out to Mr. Torres himself.
Okay.
Do you know of any reason why they would say they did not do porch roofs?
No, I do not know that stipulation. I know that their program covers basic home repair. And I would ask for clarification from Mr. Torres, and if not, I would reach out to my city council member.
Okay.
I have another question. We're looking at that roof. It looks like it's both houses. It's just, can you just fix one? Is it possible, Tom, that you're looking at, you could just fix one and not the other?
Depends on how you would structure the support member. If it could be stabilized on the one side, that would be up to the diagram of the contractor to apply for that permit with the city. Now, we do have an unsafe case on both properties, so we would be asking for the two properties to work together in making the repair. But if that's an impossibility, then it would be up to the owners of 230 to take care of their porch and make sure that it's stable.
Yeah, I would prefer we just take care of our porch. I don't know who owns next, because they moved out, right?
Yeah, we don't know who
The
owns
new-
next door.
We don't know
anymore.
the new owners of next door. It could be flippers. I don't know. I don't know who took over next door.
Okay.
The thing is, what I'm saying is I don't want them to do something and the other porch, because it's not repaired, is gonna add to the problem after they get theirs fixed, because maybe both of them have to be fixed at the same time. I don't know. I'm just asking that question. And I guess the contractor coming out would give that answer.
Yes.
Okay, when he gives that answer, just say, he says, yeah, there's a problem if both porches aren't fixed at the same time, after you fix it, it'll be for naught, so, okay, so, all right, that's my question, so. Stephanie and Michael, are you okay with the 60 days to get the funding for this, go through your city council person? Who's your council person?
I don't know. Who is that? Is that, God, I'm bad with council people. It might be, what is that woman's name?
Where do you live?
We're in Cobb's Creek, so whatever that area of Cobb's Creek,
Yeah.
whoever handles Cobb's Creek 19139.
Jamie Gautier?
Yeah, Jamie Gautier, it's probably her.
Oh, she's
It's not-
fantastic. She's very
Okay.
good. Yeah, she's very, very good.
Yeah, so we would reach out to her, correct? Jamie
Yeah, she's
Gautier?
excellent. Yeah, talk to her. And,
Okay,
I'd be willing to push it to 90 days. I just don't want to go into the winter months because of the
Okay.
possibility of a snow load.
so that's,
Okay.
can I get clarification on what the 90 days entails? Does that mean getting contractors together to fix it? Because I talked to someone recently at LNI and they gave us to the end of the year to get this resolved because we were looking into funding and trying to get.
So that would have been a conversation between you and the area inspector. So if the area inspector is giving you additional time, that's a verbal agreement between you and the area inspector. I can't speak to.
Email I sent in, it was an email I sent in that was attached to this email about getting this meeting set up, because we had not received an additional notice and I called in, or actually I emailed a letter asking for more time and then they replied back via email. So this is an email.
So that would be between you and the area inspector, and that would be when they would enforce any kind of enforcement.
Okay,
In representation to the board here, they are here to grant you a variance to approve the time. And like I said, I'm willing to push it to 90 days, which puts you to roughly around October to at least get the permit. And I really don't want to go into the winter months because of the
Right.
possibility of a snow load.
right,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. Are you guys okay with that? The 90 days, right?
Okay,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. All right, that's anybody have anything else? Okay, good luck.
Thank you. That's it?
Yeah, that's it. We,
Okay.
I mean, you know why? I don't work for the city, so.
care.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, bye.
I guess I shouldn't say that stuff, but I said it.
You want to move right into our next item?
Absolutely,
Okay, so the
absolutely.
second item on the list is MI 2023-004058 for the property located at 2628 West Sterner Street, Sterner. The appellant is Stephanie Brown, and she is here in the room. Ms. Brown, you have to unmute yourself.
Oh, okay. I'm
There you
so
go.
sorry about that. I didn't realize. Sorry.
We got a lot of Stephanie Browns here.
Yes, we do. At first, I thought you guys were talking to me. I'm like, but the address was different. That's what let me know.
There you go. Stephanie, how many people are with you? Are you by yourself?
I'm by myself.
Okay, all right, let's get started. All right,
Okay.
I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
Okay, nice to meet you guys.
Jay Scoria, Department of License and Inspections.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Thomas Rybakowski, City of Philadelphia License and Inspections.
Okay, Stephanie, you're gonna be doing the presentation. Could you please raise your right hand and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I
Fine.
do.
Okay, Phil, could you put that into the record?
Yes, sir. I think we just did, but I'll do it again. It's MI
Okay, pal.
2023-004058 for the property located at 2628 West Sterner Street. The appellant is Stephanie Brown, and she's present in the room.
Okay, Tom, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about this appeal?
so this is for the property at 2928 West Sterner Street. It was declared eminently dangerous following an inspection that occurred in June of 2023.
Tom, did you say the address incorrectly? You said 29, 28.
Yeah.
26,
26.
2628 Sterner.
Right.
So the property is or was declared eminently dangerous for conditions at the subject property. In the interest of time, I'll go right to the packet. And then we'd be looking for a permit, or our proposal to the board is that we would be looking for a permit to be under review within the next 30 days as the property was deemed as eminently dangerous for rear roof and exterior wall collapse in the rear of the property. And like I said, I'll share my screen now. Everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the interest. So this is a photograph of the property taken by the area inspector for the property at 2628 West Sterner. And then that's a photo of the posting. And this is a photo of the property. Also enlarge it. This is a photograph of the rear of the property. You can see that the sidewall and roof at the rear of the property is in a state of collapse. The property was deemed as eminently dangerous. Like I said, we would be looking for a permit to be under review within the next 30 days. With that, we'll rest.
Okay. Stephanie, you want to tell us your portion of the case?
Yes. So I want to also start off just saying from the door, because I've had a lot of contractors come out to take a look at things because I was unaware that it might have been to the extent that it was, but I didn't think that it was imminently dangerous. That bathroom that you see is actually sitting on top of a concrete structure, the kitchen. There's a kitchen under it that's made of cinder block. It's sitting right on top of it. I knew a tree had fallen and knocked the wall off. That's what you're seeing. But you couldn't see anything else because of all of the foliage that was there. So you couldn't even see that it was sitting on top of a cinder block kitchen. Nothing had fell other than that one wall. As far as the roof, I was definitely not understanding about the roof because 5, 6 years ago, I had a roof put on there. But once I got the information from you guys about the citation, which mind you, I only got like 3 days before the work was supposed to be done. I had the contractor I had do the roof come out, and that's when he informed me that looks like my neighbor next door, when he did his house, he tore up everything and threw it on top of mine, which I don't know how long ago it was done, but it started causing damage to the roof. So I didn't know that because last I knew the roof had been done. So after having all these contractors come out to see what needed to be done so that I can go ahead and correct the problem, it just seems like it was easier to sell the property because I just don't know that I can get it all done. So I am in the process of selling it right now. I have a closing date of August the 15th on the sale of that property right there. So they said that, once the title come back and we can finalize things, that they were going to file a make safe or whatever it was that needed to be done.
So, Ms. Brown, so your testimony to the board today is that you have an agreement of sale for August 15th, correct?
Absolutely, yes, I do.
Okay,
Closing
so
date is
that,
August the 15th. I have the agreement of sale, yes.
that is an agreement of sale. That doesn't mean the sale is definitely going to go through on August 15th. What I'm going to say and what I'm going to petition to the board is we want either a make safe permit to be under review within 30 days on this property, meaning that it has to be applied for in our system. If not, and the property is sold, then we're asking that you contact our office with the signed HUD sheet transferring the property to that new owner. If not, then within the next 30 days, or after the 30 days, the department would seek fit to do an enforcement by way of demolition.
I understand. Are you talking about 30 days from today or 30 days from when I initially got the violation?
30 days from today.
From today. Oh yeah, we should definitely be finished about 30 days from today. So if I understand you correctly, you're saying that what I need to do is that once the sale is completed, contact license inspection, provide them with the information on the sale, let the party that bought it know that they have to file a make safe permit within 30 days of today's date.
So
Is that
no,
right?
no. So this has nothing to do with the potential new owner. The potential new owner has the responsibility of, once they become the owner, then they need to get the make safe permit. But as you, as the responsible owner today, you have the responsibility of providing the department with the signed HUD sheet, transferring the property from you to the new owner, and then we would send the notice to the new owner. If that doesn't happen within the next 30 days or a permit is not under review, then the department would seek enforcement by way of demolition. That's what I'm proposing to the board. Now, the board could rule for a shorter amount of time if they feel fit, but that's what I'm proposing to the board.
Okay, I understand.
Stephanie, are you good with Tom's proposal?
Yes, because I think we should be good with this sale, so I'm perfectly fine with that. Now, where do I get the HUD sheet you're referring to? Do I just go to L&I and fill it out there?
No,
Or are you
so
talking
that's
about once I do the sale, the paper that they give me?
That's what you would get. That would be the signed HUD sheet. That would be the paper that they
Okay.
give you, transferring the property from you to the new owner.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is
Okay,
I'm going to give you my email address. Send me that paperwork if that sale goes through on or after the 15th.
Okay, that'd be fine. Let me just write your email address down.
It's Thomas, THOMAS
Mm-hmm.
.Rybakowski, RYBAKOWSKI @phila.gov.
Okay, so I have Thomas, THOMAS .RYBAKOWSKI @phila.gov.
Yes, phila.gov, G-O-V.
Okay, I got it.
Okay,
I'm just trying to understand, no one lives there, correct?
No, no one lives there. It's an inherited property for me. I inherited from a family member. It had been sitting. I was doing work little by little while I said I had the roof done. You know, I didn't know that there was another issue because I didn't realize what happened after I had the roof done. I had other materials in the house to fix it up, but then I had some issues with my house, which I lived at across the street because I had a fire. You know, and I had a fire. I just say that, and so at the same right after that happened, this year occurred, and I had to start looking at this again. So it has been sitting for a while.
And when did the tree fall?
The tree fall, I don't. It's been a while. I can't say exactly how long, but it's been a while since the tree fell.
Okay.
It's been a while. Yeah, I did know that when the tree fell, that wall came off, but I didn't think that it was a major concern only because the bathroom is sitting on top of the kitchen, you know, and you could still, when you go into the property, you can walk on that floor in the bathroom. All the other walls were sound and the toilet and everything was still in place. The floor didn't feel weak or nothing. It was just simply that the wall was missing, that one wall.
Well, a concern would be
So
water
I
coming
don't-
in and doing damage that you might not be able to see, but, okay,
Well,
I was
I
just
had
trying to
had-
understand.
Oh, okay. I had put some tarp and stuff up there, but I guess, you know, they kind of sort of block anything. But I guess over time, you know, maybe it blew away. I'm not sure what happened. When I was coming in and out of the property, it wasn't that often. And when I came in, I just came in and make sure that everything was sound downstairs. I didn't go upstairs. So, and I closed off that bathroom from the rest of the property. I put wood up to the door, you know, so that it wouldn't affect any of the rest of the property. So there was wood up against that bathroom door on the inside. So I was doing things here and there. I probably didn't do enough as often as I should have, but I thought it would get to this. And I really wasn't understanding about the imminent danger because I wasn't understanding that. I'm sorry.
okay, that's no problem. So,
Yeah.
okay, you're good with everything that we said. You can get in touch with Tom after you sell the house. If you don't, you still have to make the proper adjustments
To make
within
sense.
30
Yeah.
days. Okay,
So I
good
do have
luck.
one question about the structural engineer. Is there really a structural engineer required for just that one wall? Because I've been having a lot of problems trying to find a structural engineer.
Excuse me, this is the court reporter.
Oh,
Ms. Brown,
okay, I'm
Ms.
sorry.
Brown, I'm having trouble understanding. Are you moved away from your computer? There you go.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that. Did you hear anything that I said? Did you hear anything that I said?
I did, but it's a little garbled.
I'm sorry. I was just talking about the final question I had was about whether or not a structural engineer was really required, because that was one of the things I was looking to do, was to get one to see what they say, because I thought that was what I needed to do. But I was having a lot of trouble trying to find one that was available. So I guess I was asking whether or not, you know, based on the circumstances and what you guys are saying, did I really need one? If I have to do to make safe, like if anything happened, if for any reason this cell falls through and I have to get a make safe permit, I have to have a structural engineer provide me with something too?
Tom?
Yes, the property is deemed eminently dangerous, and looking at the repairs that are required, we would have to find out how you're going to marry the new construction into the existing structure and what needs to be replaced. So in this case, yes, an engineer's report is required, and quite possibly with the amount of extent and the detail of the repairs that are required, plans most likely are going to be asked for at time of submittal.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that last part you said, most likely what?
Are most likely going to be asked for at time of submittal. So you're probably going to need plans as well.
Okay.
Unless
All
you
right,
say-
well, I'll continue to just look for somebody to see if I can get that done, just in case anything happens with the sale.
Okay,
Okay,
good luck. Thanks, Stephanie.
all right, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
listening
Bye-bye.
to me.
Bye.
All right,
Okay.
goodbye.
Mr. Miller, we do have the appellants here for the next two cases in the room, if you're ready, or if we'd like a
We're
break.
ready. Everybody ready?
Okay.
Yes.
We're ready. Let's go.
The next case is case 3 on today's list. That's MI 2023-004-051 for the property located at 25 Farson Street, Farson. The appellant is Sean Whalen Esquire. He's present in the room today.
Okay, Sean, you the only one here?
No, welcome, thank you for having us board. Ramtin Sanikatam is also on from the Ramtin Group. He is the structural
Okay.
engineer for the property.
All right, I gotta make our introduction first for each case, okay?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
All right, good. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ed August, board member.
Jay Scoria, Department of License and Inspections.
Thomas Rybakowski, City of Philadelphia License and Inspections.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Is that it? Is that everyone? Is Jace? Jace, you're on mute.
Already said my
Oh,
name.
did you? Okay, all right. Tom, could you raise your right hand because you're gonna be on this case and swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Okay, and can the appellant, please raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I
The
do.
lawyers don't have to do that. Lawyers,
Okay.
they're truthful. It's just the appellant in case he has to be a witness for something, okay?
right.
What's his, that name's,
Ramtin Sanikatam, thank you, Mr. Sanikatam.
Yes.
okay. You swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. Thank you. Okay, Tom, can you tell us a little bit about this case?
so in a matter of the record, this is actually going to be a no decision by the board in that a permit has already been obtained by the owner for the repair of the property. But as a matter of record, I just want to put on the record that this property was declared unsafe. A permit was issued back in May, and then it was expired due to work not continuing in June 27th of 23. The permit was expired. A new permit was issued July 19th of 2023. What we're asking is that the work continue under the terms of that permit and until this property is deemed safe. With that said, department rests.
Okay, is that good? Is everybody working towards getting this done?
Yep, Sean Whalen from Vintage Law here on behalf of the property owner and the engineer. That's totally fine with us. That's what we had hoped for today. We did pull a permit as soon as we became aware of this notice. It was actually, the original permit was expired for non-work. However, the work had started and the contractor had begun work with the inspector, but didn't understand that, the formality process of going into Eclipse and asking for that initial inspection. So the in-house side of it expired the permit. So the work has already been begun. It was already well underway. It'll be done in probably the next 25 to 30 days. And just so everyone can rest easy, this is just the roof collapse of a rear shed portion. It's not attached to either adjacent property on either side, which are both brand new builds in recent months. And it has no structural detriment to the existing two-story house either. So,
All right,
and I
good.
believe all the materials were already sent to you guys. So,
Great,
And the
okay, good luck.
contractor understands it has to be continuous work. You can't like take off a day.
Yes, thank you very much. And I should say the initial inspection was performed this morning at the site officially through Eclipse, formally in Eclipse. So that's already in process. And yes, the contractor knows he cannot stop at any point in time to get this done. So thank you
Okay.
for the clarification. I should have said that.
Great. Good luck, guys. All right?
Thank you very much. Have a great
No
day,
problem.
everybody.
You too.
Jace, it was finally nice to meet you in person, such as it is. I've worked with you for so long and I've never seen you in person.
Yeah, good to see you too, Sean.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
All right, guys. Take it easy. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Phil.
Mr. Miller, the next item up is number 4 on today's list. That's MI 2023-001-740. This is for the property located at 2910 McKinley Street. The appellant is Dake Tian, Tian. He is present in the room today, sir.
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right, let's get started. My name is Wayne Miller. I'm a board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ed August, board member.
Jay Scurria, Department of License and Inspections.
Okay, hi everyone. And I also brought my property manager with me. His name is Tiger Wu. He's appear in this call as well.
Okay, hold on a second. Go ahead, finish out. Jace, anybody else? Phil?
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Thomas Rabikowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspection.
Okay, so we have everybody identify themselves. All right, Tom, could you raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Okay, Mr. Dake and whoever's with you that's going to be testifying, Mr. Dake, I'll swear you in first. Please raise
Okay.
your right hand.
I
Swear to
do.
tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, is the other person going to be testifying?
Tiger, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
here.
All right, Tycho, could you please raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right.
Could I have his
Tom,
full, excuse me, could I have his full name?
can
Last
we have
name?
your full name?
Tiger, Tiger. Last name is Wu, W-U.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Tom, could you tell us a little bit about this case?
so what I have is the property at 2910 McKinley was declared unsafe due to conditions of the rear deck. It is a common shared deck between the two properties at 2910 and 2912 McKinley. Both properties on August 22nd of 22 received an unsafe violation declaring the properties as unsafe as a result of the inspection. In the interest of time, I will just I'll share my screen and show you the photograph that was taken by the area inspector that day. So the board has a rendering of the area that we are citing. I'll wait for the screen to populate.
It's there.
So you can see between the two properties, the attached common deck between the two rear breezeways is dislodging, and the handrail is dislodged between the two properties. What we are asking is that the owner of this property obtain a permit within the next 60 days for the repair. It will involve getting the other owner for that, but that's not how that is done is not jurisdiction for the board. The other owner did not file an appeal. So we are, again, I'm ascertaining to the board that they obtain a permit for the repair of the rear deck in its entirety for what they own within the next 60 days.
Okay, so
Okay. All right, Dave, can you want to tell your side of the story?
yes, okay. Thank you for this, for this hearing, and also thank you for the approval for this later appeal. I'm the owner of this property, but that's a rental property, so I don't live in this property. And the situation is that I initiated this case in the last summer, August, which multiple times we reach out to our neighbor to try to solve the situation, but never get any positive response from the neighbor. Actually, the bear opened the door. Myself and my property manager both tried multiple times to knock their door, try to talk to the owner. As you can see from the picture, the rear deck is shared between two properties. My side is okay, and that beam, the main beam, fell down from their side of a supporting wall. So we tried to work with my neighbor, but the neighbor is not responsive. And I come back to the license and inspect unit and made the complaint, and the unit come to the property, did the inspection, but issued the violation against both property. So that put me into the situation that I initiated the case, but end up I get fined, and I was not able to solve the situation because I can bring in a contract, but without permission from my neighbor, I cannot touch his property, and no contract will do it without permission, without authorization. So that's the situation. So I'm a landlord. I want to solve the problem, and I'm willing to work with the city to do whatever I can do.
Okay, Tom, what does Doc do?
The responsibility of ascertaining a court order to go on someone else's property and make the repair would be against the property owner. It would be a civil case between the two properties. As far as the department is or the responsibility of the department, it's exactly what the appellant spelled out. It is a complaint came in. It involves a shared rear deck between the two properties. Both properties have been cited. If compliance doesn't happen within the time frame, then the city would seek court order or court action against both owners to try to compel compliance.
Okay, well, Doc already tried. He's the one that initiated this. He's the one that wants to get it done, and he gets no response from the neighbor. I mean, he can't cut it in half. Okay, I mean, because it's between the two houses. He's between a rock and a hard place.
But that's not for the board to decide.
Well, the thing is that I think it's not against anybody. I just think that's unfair. Doc wants to get this done.
But again, that's not the jurisdiction, fair or unfair. That's not jurisdiction for the board. The jurisdiction for the board does the violation exist? And clearly in the photograph, the violation does exist. There was a violation issued between both properties. So it is the owner's responsibility to pull the permit to make the necessary repairs. And if that doesn't happen, then the department can seek enforcement action by way of court proceedings against both owners, and then can compel compliance that way.
Well, again, I know it's not our business, but he had a contractor out there that wanted to get this done. And the thing is, no contractor will go on that part. Why? Here's what drives me nuts. Okay, when somebody's trying to do something right and another person is not doing something right, the person that don't do something right gets away with everything. That's disgusting.
But that's not.
I know, Tom, I'm not meaning to you.
And
It's
it's
just,
not,
it's
and that's a
frustrating.
civil matter.
I would be
between property
frustrated
owner and
if I was
property
that. I would be frustrated.
Thank you.
I mean, it's not fair. And the thing is that then we got to put the onus on him. And he's the guy trying to do something. It's just they got to come up with something better than this. I know all this legal jargon and all that stuff. The guy next door is a deadbeat. He ain't doing nothing. They should go after him. Is who they should go after.
Tom, do we have any, capacity to request that something more be done with the neighbor than to Mr. Tian. I mean, where, I mean, to show that we find, not absolve him of responsibility, because I understand it's technically, we can't do that,
No,
but
So what the department would do is we can seek court action against the owner at 2912. And then in those proceedings, or however it is, we can seek court action against that owner. And then the appeal period is still running for Mr. Tan. So in that aspect, yes, we could seek court action against the other owner while the appeal period is going, and maybe that would compel compliance on both parties, and see if that sort of gets the ball rolling per se.
yeah, because it compels compliance on one property. The guy that ain't doing anything. That's the thing. Mr. Tan is trying to do everything in his power to get this done. And the thing is that he's the only one that shows up. You know, I know this is life, but the only people that go after is the people that do the right thing. The people that don't do the right thing, nobody goes after them.
I would think
And
there's
Tom, this
some-
ain't against you. This is just me being frustrated.
There is probably some shoring that can be done to get it to a make safe condition, just on the 2910 side.
Okay, so basically what we can do, actually I spoke to a contractor in the middle of the deck, because he cannot touch the other side of that. In the
Right.
middle of the deck, we can put a supporting column, either wood one or metal one in the middle to make it, as an interim solution. I can definitely work on that. And I don't know if that require special permission or, because that once our contractor will work in the middle, then definitely we move the beam on the other side. So I don't know what kind of permission I need for those kind of action. Definitely it's in my interest to make it safe.
Mhm.
So yeah, you would need to obtain the make safe permit to essentially support the deck. In the meantime, that would be covered by the make safe permit. And then the department would seek the action against the other owner, as you would have made it safe under the terms of that permit.
And are
Okay,
there
so
tenants in there now? 'Cause there's no active rental license right now.
yeah, right now there's no rental license. I'm not able to renew the rental license. Actually, that was triggered this event. Otherwise, I didn't even
Okay, so there's
notice
nobody
that.
in there.
He can't rent it. Nobody, he can't, he can't get a
No.
license.
No, okay, but actually, there's someone living there. Tenant is still living there inside. But that usually they use the front door for the entrance. So this is a real deck. Actually, the impact is minimum. The tenant, the door go to the tenant to the deck have been sealed.
Okay.
Okay, so, Dak, you gotta get a permit to shore up your side of it. And then now, is it up to the city, Tom, that they go after this other individual?
So we can seek court action once the appropriate time comes up. We're due for an inspection out at the location, and then we can seek court action against the owner.
Okay, Dak, if you're willing to put that post up on your side, I would do it and pull a permit. And then now the ball's in the other guy's court.
Okay, I will do it. Yeah. Just one more question. Where I should apply for the permit?
Tom?
Because it's considered a structural repair, you would have to make an appointment with L&I. You'd have to go to L&I's website, contractor would apply for the permit, and then keep the appointment and come into the MSB, or you may be contacted by permit services that day and be able to do an online submittal.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, good luck.
All right, thank you. Thank you very
Alright.
much for your support and for the hearing.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
All right. That's it.
And I'm gonna mute
All
myself.
right.
The next item on today's list is for the property located at 419 Bainbridge Street, MI 2023-002-609. This case was heard before the board on 6/22 of 23. So Amy, do you want to make an amendment to the provisos?
So we need to amend the provisos that we made on June 22nd, 2023. Provisos will now read, and there's really only a change to proviso number 3. Proviso number 1 is no combustible materials for the roof deck, deck tiles, deck railings and furniture. Furniture cushions shall be fire retardant. Item number 2, no fire pits, gas grills, barbecue grills, or gas lines to the roof deck. No propane, only electric grills are permitted. Item number 3, stair towers and elevator shafts that shall be pressurized to comply with section 909.20.5 and 909.21.1 of the 2018 IBC, respectfully. Standby power is not required. Fire command control center is not required. Item number 4, horns and strobes shall be installed on the roof deck to sound if there is a fire within the building. Item number 5, an LO of 125 people on the roof deck shall be posted.
Okay, everybody agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Ted, okay. Good. Is that all you need? Recording, please? Okay. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ed August, board member.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Jay Scurria, Department of License and Inspections.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Okay, I'm gonna swear everybody in that's gonna be a witness in the case. I don't have to swear the lawyers in. So we'll start out with Joe. Joe, you a lawyer?
No, architect, Joe
Okay.
Rhodey.
You better raise your right hand. Raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, the next guy, Matt, are you here?
I am Matt Weber.
Matt, you can swear to tell, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I will. I do.
Good. Mary Beth, are you a lawyer?
No, I am not.
Okay, could you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, Dale, are you a lawyer?
I'm an architect.
Okay, you gotta raise your right hand and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
And Eileen, you're a lawyer, so you gotta pass. Bill, you wanna, is it read into the record?
I'll do it right now. This is case
Okay,
7 on
now.
today's list. MI 2023-004-002 for the property located at 8500 Essington Avenue. The appellant is Eileen Quigley Esquire, and she is present in the room today.
Okay, whoever's gonna present the case, go ahead, please.
Thank you. Counsel to the board always asks us to have people turn their cameras on. So we have a visual on everybody.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that.
Go ahead, Eileen.
Okay, whoever's
Thank
gonna
you.
present the case, go ahead.
May I share the screen?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So good afternoon, members of the board. Thank you for your time today. We're here today to seek a variance from the regulation related to elevation of a proposed accessory attendant booth. It's accessory to an on-site customer service building for the car rental facility for Enterprise. The grounds for the appeal is essentially that the regulation doesn't really apply to our situation because we're technically seeking a temporary variance for not more than 5 years, because we understand that the city is contemplating rehabilitation and major improvements on this site. So I'm going to just go down to a topographic plan so you can see basically where the site is in comparison to the We're in relation to the Delaware River too, to get you sort of oriented. So this is a bit of a visual where the booth will be here about 6,800 feet from the river. I'm going to try to reduce that a little bit.
Yeah, and rotate rotate right also.
Excuse me, this is the court reporter. Could I ask who just spoke?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Eileen Quick. Oh, that was Joe Rody
Thank you.
from DW Architects. He's the architect. So here's a visual. That gives you some idea. And this is the topographic plan. So this is the Delaware River here. This is the facility site here.
So this is Joe Rody. Essentially, this is a parcel within the overall rental car area complex serving the Philadelphia airport. It exists amongst all other rental car companies that are there. And the proposal is to install this 90 square foot pre-manufactured booth for the purposes of housing two of the enterprise employees that are acting as customer service representatives. The function is being requested to try and improve the overall customer experience at the enterprise facility, where the operation brings customers to the front of the building, which is about 50 feet away from where the proposed small prefab booth is going to be placed. And the customers get dropped off, go inside, rent the vehicle within the main building. And then when they exit the building, they come out to their ready car. And if there is an issue, which there is sometimes with a car, or they want to change it out, the intent is for two employees to be housed in this booth that will immediately be able to take care of whatever issues they have, rather than sending somebody back into the building, getting in line and waiting to speak to someone at the rental counter. So it's accessory use to the customer service building. And we're requesting that we have a variance for this in lieu of trying to flood proof this small prefab structure. Our current grade out on the site is at 8.5. The design flood elevation is at 11.5. And the booth is proposed to be installed on a raised slab. It will be installed to provide hydrostatic resistance per the code. And the proposal is to raise any electrical and mechanical above the design flood elevation in lieu of providing a dry flood proofing type of system to surround the booth.
Thanks, Joe. Anything else you need to add with regard to the construction of that booth, the materials?
It's a all metal construction booth. It's a type 2B, and it's non-combustible materials. It's currently not designed to be waterproofed, but we are taking the mechanical and the electrical portion and raising it above to prevent any issues should there be some unlikely event of a flood on the property.
And the hours of operation for the attendant booth are consistent with the associated customer service building?
Correct. So Mary Beth, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say that from 6 in the morning till midnight would be the max hours of operation there.
That is correct.
Does anyone have a problem with this?
No, I assume that in the event of a flood, this building would be vacated and the surrounding area. So it's
correct. There's probably 400 vehicles that'll be parked in and around this site, and the risk would be much more towards the vehicles being damaged by flood than anything related to this booth. The booth is completely made out of metal. There's no other finishes in the booth that would be damaged in the event of a flood. So you're literally gonna open the door, let it dry out and start operating again.
The only issue I would have, and you fixed it, that you moved the electrical above the floodplain or whatever it would be to flood. So
Correct.
I don't have a problem with it. Amy?
I think we should caucus for a minute.
Okay, you wanna caucus? We'll caucus. All right,
Do you guys have
there's
any
a
questions?
breakout room. Okay, thank you. With the recording, John. We have one question. Which way does the door open in that little building? Does it open inward?
Now it swings out.
Could you make it open inward?
Actually, showing our sliding doors.
They're actually sliding doors.
Yeah, the plan shows sliding, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just had a concern of the idea of a car sinking in water and how you can't open the door
Yeah.
in a flood situation. And we were concerned about somebody trying to open a door to get out.
All right,
So in
so
this case,
if you look
can
at it,
manually do it. Yeah.
if the screen is still up for everybody, the image in the upper left corner shows the floor plan of the booth, and you can see
Yep.
there's two doors, one on each side, left and right, and they're both sliding doors.
The whole thing's protected by bollards, Joe.
Would bollards help?
They've been provided.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I would think you could open a sliding door.
All right. Okay.
Just ask a question. They said that it was temporary on the proviso. Are you gonna give a time limitation?
Oh, it tells you.
The request is for 5 years. It
No
was-
more than 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're looking to what the enterprise car facility is located in the next 2 to 3 years or something? What they're
Well,
gonna do to-
the airport is planning to build a consolidated rental car facility on the footprint area of all the rental car companies where they sit today. And so that entire campus between Enterprise, Hertz, Avis, Budget, all those car rental companies are going to be relocated to one large parking garage facility on the footprint of that site.
Oh.
So they're in the process of the pre-planning stages of that new facility right now. And it's unknown at this time when activities are going to start. But the first step in that process is to build interim facilities for all the car rental companies to move out of and into while they come and demolish that whole campus area to make way for the new facility. So that may start in 2 years or 3 years, but that's why we're seeking 5, because it's an unknown at this time until we get back with the airport.
Okay. All right, Jace, no more than 5.
Okay.
Okay? All right, good luck.
Thank you very much. That concludes my
you.
business. May I please be excused?
You certainly can, Sister
Thank you.
Mary Beth.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Code.
Jace Korea, Department of License and Inspections.
Philip Motto, Board Administration.
Is that everyone? With us, okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna swear anybody in that's gonna testify. Jerry, are you a lawyer?
I am not. I'm an
Okay, we're gonna
architect.
swear you in. Please raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, Levi, could you please raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, Phil, read it into the record.
Yes, sir. This is case number 6 on today's list, MI 2023-003-821 for the property located at 1909 East Westmoreland Street. Napoleon Gutierrez is the appellant. He's present in the room today.
Okay, whoever's gonna present the case, go ahead.
Very good. Thank you, members of the board. I am the applicant, Napoleon, also known as Jerry, which is my preferred name. Here
Okay.
to appeal the refusal for the application. Before I start, I'd like to introduce the property owner, my client, Mr. Levi Schenkman. I think he has a few words of introduction just to bring us up to speed on the property and the beginnings of this development. Levi?
Sure, thank you. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, as Jerry said, my name is Levi Schenkman. I'm with the ownership group of 1901 East Westmoreland, as well as 1909-27 East Westmoreland, which are adjacent properties that are involved in this refusal. Just, overarching, this project at 1909-27 East Westmoreland is a collection of 5 buildings that, were, it's a large project. It's 5 buildings that were in distress for likely many decades. And, our idea here is to create an intentional community of artisan and craft trade style tenants. The idea being that while there's tons, I don't want to say tons, but there's a lot of these types of warehouses, adaptive reuse projects around the city. What we've found is that a lot of these are just older warehouses, and building owners have said, let's bring in these tenants opportunistically. And then ultimately what happens is they end up getting pushed out when the building is either developed, redeveloped, or sold to someone else. So we've designed this and are building this intentionally for these types of tenants to be here long term. That's the idea. And 1901 East Westmoreland, and the way it's involved in this project where the buildings are next door is, with these types of tenants in mind, they're there at all hours of day and night. We're talking artisan carpenters, welders, photographers, people of that nature. We wanted to try and create a safe and secure means for them to enter the building. And so the parking lot next door, the lot, provides this opportunity to create this safe, secure, and convenient interaction with the building. Just to give you a little context and background. Jerry, I don't know how far you'd like to hear me talk about it. I'm trying to be concise, so.
I think that's great, Levi. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go straight to the context of the refusal, which has to do with the reopening of existing infilled openings on one side, which is the side facing the adjacent vacant parcel. Do you guys feel like I need to share screen so I can point you?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Thank you. Not that one. Apologies. This one. Sorry about
There
that.
you go.
Okay, so what we have is the property that Levi mentioned earlier, highlighted in red bubble is the area of the existing, in this case, masonry party wall. To the right of that property line is the adjacent lot that's being used as a parking lot. The area within the bubbled cloud is the location of the existing window openings that we are proposing to reopen so that we can allow natural light into several of the artisan studios on the upper floors. This is actually a composite site plan that shows the existing vacant lot relative to the adjacent structure. Again, on the first floor, second floor, and third floor shows several window openings that are infilled. I think this is a better picture. As you see here, we have these 6 larger window openings that were infilled. Then we have 3 smaller openings that were infilled with glass block. And then here is an existing small window opening infilled with glass block, which we extended down to the ground so that we can have an entrance directly off of the parking lot.
And what's the ownership of the parking lot?
The parking lot and the buildings that we, is basically the original application, are owned by the same entity.
Okay, but are separately deeded.
That's
That-
correct. They're not consolidated. That's correct.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a lawyer in the room, but typically would this require a formal easement, or is this a unity of use kind of situation? I mean, our concern is that if anything were ever developed adjacent, that obviously the openings might have to be closed up. But I know our legal counsel is not here today.
Even if there was a unity of use, you wouldn't be able to, you still have to get a refusal from the board. A unity of use is only recognized in zoning and not building.
Okay.
So, I think in the past, they've used easements, and I think in the proviso, you would state the windows would need to be infilled if there were any kind of construction over the parking lot. That's what they
But
did.
we would call for an easement to be recorded, is what you're saying.
I think that's what you did in the past, yes.
Yeah, okay, that sounds right.
The sprinkler system. You said there's 5 buildings there?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and where does the feed come in? What building?
Well, if you go to, Jerry, if you want to share that first shot or the composite even that shows both properties. The feed comes in through the existing 2-story along Westmoreland. The FDC connection is in sort of the top middle section there. It comes in off of Westmoreland Street to the left. Yeah, right there where Jerry just drew a line.
Okay, and is that building accessible to all the buildings? In case there's a fire, they have to shut the system off or something like that, or if they sell the building, they have to, disassociate that building from the sprinkler
Yeah,
system?
so all the buildings are, I don't want to use the word consolidated, but they share a common area. The buildings are, you can pass through all the buildings. So they share a sprinkler system and common area, fire alarm panel, monitoring, everything. And everything in the buildings has been completely redone. Everything is new.
Wayne, they do show up as one entity on Atlas.
Okay, all right, fine.
Yeah. Are you able to provide a sprinkler head at each of those new openings that you're proposing?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Well, before we go there, Ted, you introduced the idea of a deeded easement moving us towards the unity of use, which is, as Jace mentioned, is only applicable under zoning. That actually introduces, in a sense, our rationale for asking for appealing the refusal. And we're basically saying that we would like the board to consider our appeal in the context of the spirit of what unity of use is promoting, which is that there's a benefit for both properties to be integrated in its use and in the way they relate to each other, providing access and natural light so that it can be a successful development. That addresses the benefit under unity of use, which I understand is only applicable under zoning. However, in moving towards the building code aspect of which is the basis for the refusal, under the code B-706.1.1, the language of the actual code specifically references that the intended application for the exception is for lot line between two buildings. We don't have that situation. We have one building next to no building.
Yeah, I hear you, but we see this all the time, and this is how it's really between two properties is the way that we look at it, because there's no control over what gets built on an adjacent lot unless it's formally.
And I understand what you're saying. There is single ownership for both properties, and the specific text of the code is buildings, not properties.
Yeah.
But you also got to look at exterior wall openings. You have 0 feet fire separation distance, so you're not to have any openings at all there.
Yeah.
I'd actually like to sort of address that question, Jace, what you mentioned. Under the same exception, in fact, I'm going to share another sketch. Under the same exception, it allows this condition where a property line can run through a building and not require a party wall or a firewall where the property line is. It seems to me that this creates a more hazardous situation, more so than what has been submitted under the application. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chase.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm saying that the exception, the language of the exception allows for a property line to come through an existing building where the building basically overlaps the property line.
So are you saying that the property line overlaps the building line?
I'm not talking about,
overlaps.
yeah, I'm not talking about our specific application. I'm talking about that the exception allows this condition.
I'm not sure what exception you're talking about. Can you reference it in the code?
Sure. Actually, 706 1.1 exception 2.
What's it say?
I'll read it. Excuse me. My my homemade Vanna White.
But Jerry, are you referring to a situation where there's a property line inside of a building, but where it's the same ownership of both sides?
Well, let me read this verbatim, and I think you can sort of interpret it in your own way. Firewalls are not required on lot lines dividing a building for ownership purposes where the aggregate height and area of the portions of the building located on both sides of the lot line do not exceed the maximum height and area requirements of this code. For the code official's review and approval, he or she shall be provided with copies of dedicated access easements and contractual agreements that permit the owners of portions of the building located on either side of the lot line access to the other side for purposes of maintaining fire and life safety systems necessary for the operation of the building. I believe this is what they're talking about, the sketch that I'm showing you.
I'm saying, how does this apply to this property now? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, what I'm saying here is that my interpretation is that this condition that's on the screen is actually much more complicated. In fact, is more hazardous than the situation that we
Are
are
you-
appealing.
Are you saying that the refusal was written in error?
I'm not saying that.
Okay, well, given that you're not saying that, and I don't believe that it is, I think, I mean, this is a situation we encounter all the time. We consider providing a variance with provisos that we think address long-term safety. And we've just spelled out what we would want in order to do this. And we've been, I believe, very consistent in doing that. So I can't believe that we would be, we wouldn't be treating this as you're asking us to treat it. I mean, we feel that if you don't want to have any openings in this property line wall, that's okay. Then you can resubmit it and you will be approved as of right. If you want to have openings, we are willing to consider, and I think we're comfortable with granting a variance with the provisos that we've outlined.
I apologize. I don't mean to be argumentative. I saw it as an opportunity to explore a code, what I felt was a code gray area. But
Hey, Jared, you have another job coming down the road?
openings.
Jared, you have another job coming down the road? You're checking it out here now? Huh?
No,
Oh,
sir.
yes, sir. Okay, all right, we're gonna deal with this one, all right? So, we gave you what our proposal is in our provisos. Not our proposal, what we need to do this in order to give a variance. And now it's up to the board to decide if they're gonna give the variance. Does anybody have any issues with what we said?
Which would be a sprinkler head at each opening, and the door would be on an automatic closer. The event.
And if somebody built in the next, an adjacent lot, then they would have to block those windows up.
Right.
Is there anything else?
Chase, should there be a width to the easement? I mean, is it basically with the fire separation?
I mean, yeah, it depends on what the percentage is, but
8%.
but
It's a relatively low percentage, so it's probably a 5-foot wide easement. Does that sound right? Or
see.
10?
You know what the percentage is, Jerry?
8%.
8?
Yes.
Yeah, 5 should be fine.
Okay, so if we're good with those provisos, then we would grant the variance, and that would be up to Ted, myself, and Amy. Are we good with that, Amy and Ted?
So the fourth proviso is to create a 5-foot easement.
Mm-hmm,
on
yes,
that wall. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
good with it.
Recorded easement,
Okay.
yes. I'm good with it.
and I'm good with it. Okay, Jerry, good luck.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
good
you,
deal.
everyone.
Have a good afternoon.
Hi, everybody, good deal. Okey dokey. All right, we got that one done. What's the next one, Phil?
The next
3
one, I
o'clock
believe,
yet?
number 8 on today's list,
Arch Street.
that's Arch Street.
Okay. Okay, are they here, Phil?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is everyone ready?
Yes,
Okay.
my video
Um,
is not working. I hope that's okay.
Oh, geez, we can't go without a video. Won't
I've
work
been
with it.
trying. Okay,
Okay, all
sorry.
right, I got you. You're probably like me, but anyway.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wally Mabagunje. I represent the owner of the project. You've been talking to my great architect, Kristen Sage. We can
Kristen?
introduce her. Yes. Unfortunately,
Okay,
our legal
so-
counsel is not available, but I don't believe that we need them for this. We can
Good deal.
obviously come back if we do.
Okay.
Our request for review of our appeal is somewhat technical,
Hold
but
on,
I'm
hold,
sure.
hey,
Yes,
all right, hold on a minute. We gotta go through a procedure before we get to that.
I
Okay,
figured as
Val?
much.
All right, here we go. All right, is the recording on?
Yes,
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ed August, board member.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Jace Correa, Department of License and Inspections.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Okay, anybody's gonna be a witness or participating in this case? Wally, please raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, respond.
I do.
Kristen, could you please raise your right hand? Swear to tell
Yes.
the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Could you please respond?
I do.
Okay. Phil, put that into the record.
Yes, sir. This is case 8 on today's list, MI 2023-004-004 for the property located at 2000 to 2024 Arch Street. Wale Mabagunje is the appellant and he's present in the room today.
Okay. Whoever's going to present the case, go ahead.
Thank you very
Great.
much. So I'll defer to Kristen.
Excellent. I'm gonna share my screen here. Can you see the PowerPoint, everyone?
Yes, I
Yeah.
don't see any pictures yet.
Not quite yet.
Looks like it's coming. Nothing yet, Kristen.
Oh boy, I wonder if my camera issues are something to do with internet speed or something. It's a pretty bad one inside the office. I have.
Do you have it in, do you have the presentation in PDF?
Yep, I'm getting it up right now. I
do
think
that.
that might be a little bit easier.
Yep.
I would stop share and then try to share again.
Thank you.
Bring it up, Ian.
I'm gonna try sharing again here. Any luck?
Not yet.
Boy.
You want to send it to me and I can try to share it as well?
Yes, I did send it like Monday, Wale, maybe?
Let me look for it right now.
You still
PDF.
can't see?
No,
Okay. Jeez. I apologize.
Take your time, Kristen. Don't worry. All right, just take your time and get it done. That's all. We're in no hurry.
Everybody's always busy.
Yeah, we gotta stop and smell the roses sometimes. Take your time. Oh, we see your name.
You see my name? Well, that doesn't help. Still nothing.
you said Monday?
Yeah, it was through New Forma.
Oh,
Any
That's-
luck? Can
There
I
we
try
go.
to share?
there we
Yeah.
Oh,
go.
it's coming up there.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Um, Thank
There you
you
go.
very much. Thanks for your patience. Okay, great.
All right.
So as you said, we're looking for a variance for the 2000 Arch project. The project is located at the corners of Arch, 20th, and Cuthbert Street, adjacent to the SEPTA tracks, the right-of-way tracks. We are requesting an exemption from the IBC 2018 Table 602 for the fire resistance rating requirements for exterior walls based on fire separation distance. So to give you some context of what we currently have in terms of our siting, we have a frontage on the south facade onto the Cuthbert Street. We are measuring 15 feet to the center line of Cuthbert Street as defined by the fire separation distance definitions. And on our west facade, which faces a new alley, above our 9th floor, we have an 18-foot fire separation distance. So I'll go back here to the site plan and just give you a little bit of a view here. So Cuthbert Street is a 30-foot wide right-of-way. We're measuring right now, if we do it just purely by the way the code states, it would be 15 feet. And to the west, which faces some low profile residential buildings, at our 9th floor and above, we have 18 feet to the property line. So we are looking to eliminate the requirement to have 1 hour rated exterior walls. As required by code right now, we do have a 1 hour rated shadow box at our floor lines to comply, but we're looking for relief from that. So if I go into a little bit deeper here on Cuthbert Street, so because the street itself is 30-foot wide and it fronts onto those SEPTA train tracks, our proposal would be that we are able to measure our fire separation distance, that full 30 feet, and we're a couple inches off the property line. So we would be over 30 feet, which the code requires or states that anything over 30 feet can be unrated. So that's the one request related to South Street, is that, I'm sorry, to the south facade, Cuthbert Street.
On that one,
Yes.
how far back are the tracks from that property line on the south side of Cuthbert?
You know, I don't know that off the top of my head, but we can certainly chase that number down.
Is the property line the sidewalk line there? Is that you were referring to? That's the 30 feet from there is the right of way.
Yes, there's a retaining wall and this drops down. There's a change in elevation. Actually, I have
looks like another.
I have this pulled out too, just to give you some 3D view here. There's a large retaining wall that's set back from the sidewalk, and that's where the tracks begin.
Yeah. Any guess as to how far back? I mean,
Looks like there's one track right against that wall.
Let me see if it says anything in our civil drawings. I think our drawings kind of end there because we're not on the tracks itself. Yeah, I apologize. We don't have that handy, but we can certainly follow up with it.
and I don't know if you know, or Jace, you may, what would the distance be that would be required if there were to not be required to rate the exterior wall?
It'll be over 30 feet.
Over 30
Right.
feet.
Yeah,
That
so
would be the equivalent of being 60 feet away, I guess.
But the way that the fire separation distance is called out is to be the middle of the street. They're just stating to measure.
No, I know. Yeah, I'm just wondering how wide a street would you need in order to be compliant without
60 foot.
Well, yeah, that's
so we are compliant on the Arch Street side. That street is much wider. So just to the center of that street, we're at 36 feet.
over
So
30.
we are,
Right, okay.
and east on 20th, where it's even wider than that. So those two facades are unrated. You know, I think just to, you know, there's access here. I'm not sure if there's, I think I heard someone from the fire reviewer might be on the line. There is access along Cuthbert. You know, someone could still come down the street and access that facade. So we were really thinking that because that track area is open, that we could hopefully measure that to the full 30 feet of that Cuthbert Street right of way. Food for thought. So then the other request here would be that a similar request on the west facade. So on our west facade, we have the building steps back above at our 9th floor and above. Below that, we are not requesting any change there. So we would be rating those exterior walls and complying with all the % opening requirements. But where we step back even further at the 9th floor and above, we're looking for the same type of exception or exemption there. For context, this is our floor plan, the west facade here on Plan West. Let me zoom in just slightly. To our property line, we have 8 foot at that lower portion of the building. And so our request is really for the upper portion of the building, which is 18 feet to the property line. The adjacent property is a low-rise residential property with a courtyard in the back. Our building, or those buildings, come up only to about the 4th floor of our building. So all of this area would still be 1 hour rated. This area I'm just highlighting. You can see that red line showing approximate height of where those adjacent residential buildings come up to. Our request would just be to reduce that rating requirement. Once we get up, we'll be at the 9th floor and up to the 18th floor would be where we would, where we are asking for that exemption.
And I know Lieutenant Dimes can weigh in on this. We've at times looked to be kind of maintaining that rating at least, say, 15 feet above the top of an adjacent building. So you're clearly well above that.
Correct. Yes, we are well above that.
I think
the
that's
rating? 1 hour,
reasonable.
10?
I don't know if there's any, scientific data. Obviously, heat, fire, smoke, it rises and it gets hot. You said 15 feet, Ted?
Yeah, I know at times in the past, like 2 floors above, or or a floor, and in terms of windows above, in terms of risk from, let's say there were a fire in the townhouses, affecting, the new construction.
And what is her distance?
We are well over 70 feet above to where we would be requesting the exemption.
Yes, I think, just my opinion, 15 feet's too small, 70 feet would probably work. I think that, if there was a fire in that townhouse and it was a good one and it was ripping pretty good, I think it could jump to the other building with 15 feet above, depending on wind direction and stuff like that. So, but that's not what they're asking here. It's a 70-foot threshold, which I would think would be.
Let me just double check my math here. So we got 136 to 66 feet. I apologize. I misspoke.
Yeah, there's really, again, there's no data on that. Obviously, the greater the distance, the better. But anything 50 feet or greater would probably be, in my opinion, a lot safer than, I guess, the pre-designated 15 feet. So I wouldn't have a problem with that on that side.
How do you feel about the side adjacent to the tracks?
Is there, what would it be, 30 feet, or how many feet was that again? And
Where the right of the Cuthbert
from the
Street-
track, right? I guess the brisk analysis would be if something were to happen
On the train.
on the track, something were happening, was on fire. What's the distance from the closest track to the building?
It would be, we have to get that number for you, but it's over 30 feet.
Right.
Plus, for what
And-
it's
and the
worth,
code
tracks are
requires
also-
over
the
30 feet.
tracks are also lower in this area as well. This is just where the tunnel exits from suburban, yes. So they're.
So obviously this
several
is
feet below as well.
construction. Is the reason for the variance request cost saving?
Partially.
Okay.
And what's the rating is 1 hour? That's what you would be, under the
Correct.
code would be? And what is it
Yes.
now? If you got the variance, what would it be?
If we got the variance, it would be 0 unrated.
Oh, okay.
So the code says anything over 30 feet of the fire separation distance is 0. So that's what we're looking for, is to basically be able to calculate that as over 30 feet because of the SEPTA right of way tracks being open and having that Cuthbert Street be 30 feet wide.
And is most of that facade glass?
Yes.
It
There's
seems
small
like the-
portions that have terracotta, but predominant is it's a glass facade.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's about 50 feet from the face from your property line to the tracks. It's sort of a, but
I don't know, in the picture, there was a track right next to that wall.
yeah, but the wall is set back.
Yeah, but
from
our
the
building
cover.
is not, would be back here on the other side of that street. So at the edge of where this parking lot is shown, that we're just slightly off of that line as. our-
Right, but are we saying it's about 30 feet from that property line that you're delineating with that retaining wall?
It's at least 30 feet.
And then I see another track very close.
And then the
So this
tracks
is our-
are 10, 15 feet down from that wall.
You want a caucus?
Yeah.
Okay. Phil, can you get us in the breakout room?
You should just have to re-enter, Wayne. You had the invitation.
Okay, pal, gotcha. I'm becoming an expert at this stuff. Okay. Okay. Recordings on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here's what we came up with. What you proposed on the structure on the west side up to the 9th floor and above, that's fine. Okay, on Cuthbert Street, we'd like to see the ratings up to the 5th floor. Because what we think is that, I know it's down, the tracks are down, but the trains are up. We figure it could be, that's probably level with the building, so up to the 5th floor, we need a rating. That's where we're at, so that's what we would do to give the variance, so what do you think?
Okay, one follow-up question. So
Go
in the
ahead.
code, it allows us for the first floor to be unrated. So the question is, do we need to then rate that floor to be able to meet your, compromise?
Jace, does that sound right?
Can you reference that exception, Kristen?
Sure, just give me 1 second. It's on our permit set. Give me a minute, I apologize. Okay. Yes, so
So you're looking at table 602, right?
Yep. And I am
the
looking
note.
at. Oh boy, where is it? Give me a minute. I can. Okay, here we go. Per IBC 2018, here, let me share my screen real quick, just so you can just follow along with me.
This is type 1A construction, right?
Correct. So I guess I was a little bit misspoke, but we're allowed unlimited openings.
Right, openings.
So, right.
That doesn't have to do with the rating though.
Well, it's unlimited unprotected openings, so in theory it could be all glass, right? Which it is.
Just get that already.
In
This is
general, yeah, I
unprotected?
think, yeah, unprotected openings are permitted in the first story where the wall faces a street that has FSD more than 15.
So in other words, the kind of cross hatching, that's actually glazed. That's a diagrammatic there.
Correct. The non crosshatch is a shadow box, so it still has like a solid wall behind the glass, but it's not rated.
Gotcha.
Because it's unprotected, basically. I just want to make sure that we're doing everything that you want to see for us to be able to do this up to level 5, you know.
I'd also want to see, yeah, where level 5 is on yours. Let's make sure we're thinking the same thing. Like that we're kind of 4 stories above grade is where the rating would end.
Yeah, we would be upwards of, if we're up to level 5 or through level 5. So if we had to do through level 5, we'd be up at 90 feet, let's say 96 feet.
I'm sorry, this is the court reporter. Could you please keep your voice up a little bit? Thank you.
Yes, apologize.
You used exception 1 for that?
I didn't quote the exception number, but it's 705.8.1.
705.8.1, and then it says, I'm guessing you're using exception 1 in groups other than group H occupancies. Unlimited unprotected openings are permitted in the first story above grade plane where the wall faces one of the following: a street that has a fire separation distance of 15 feet, which you do.
Yes.
An unoccupied space. Yours is an occupied space, right?
It is occupied space, yes. So maybe we missed that portion. I'll have to go back and read it again myself. So we'll take another look at that.
Jace, did you say it meets one of the following or?
Yeah, it says one of the following. I'm just trying to make sure that it says one of the following. I'll reference it.
Okay,
I think
so
this
we
says
do meet one of
unprotected-
the following.
But this has unprotected openings, but you have walls there.
Well, it's all glass, so it's all basically an opening.
Okay, based on that exception, then you do comply with that first story. It's not an H occupancy, so.
Correct, it is not. It is B.
Kristen, if you can just, so we write it up correctly, what on the west side, is it including the 9th floor or is it up to the 9th floor that you were?
Sure. We would be starting our unrated walls at the 9th floor.
Okay. Yeah, we were okay with that. Thanks.
Now,
Okay.
the first floor doesn't have to be rated on Comfort Street?
Yeah,
Did we
based
come up
on-
with that, or I don't know if that was our
Based
final?
on- Based on that exception, that's what it says, yep.
But that, you said that if it was occupied, right?
No, it says it has to have one of the following. It faces one of the
Oh,
following.
okay, just one of the, okay, okay.
The
Alright.
street that has a fire separation distance of more than 15 feet.
Right, so that only applies to Cuthbert on the alley side.
Correct. On the alley
Don,
side, we
how do
are
you feel about this?
correct. On the alley side, we are rated from ground to level 9.
I'm sorry, this is the reporter. I didn't hear ground to level what?
9.
Thank you.
Go ahead,
Don,
John,
you
we're
good with
waiting
this?
for you.
No, I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay, good, good. Amy, Ted, you good?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Yes.
All right.
Great.
Good
Thank you
luck, guys.
very much for your time.
You're welcome. Okay,
Thanks.
all right. Okey dokey. So, we got one left, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, Fairmount Avenue.
Yeah, hi, it's Plato. How are you? Janina in my office can present the drawings.
Hold on a
Um,
second, we gotta get introductions and all that stuff.
Oh, I apologize. Sorry.
No problem, Plato. Are we all ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Ted, Amy?
Yes.
Okay. Phil, we're gonna get rolling. Is the
Okay.
court reporter on?
He's
You
here in the
good,
room.
John?
Mr. Kelly.
Yes, I'm reporting now, sir.
Okay, pal, good. All right, I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
John Dime, Fire Code.
Case Korea Department License and Inspections.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Okay, Plato, are you the only one gonna be representing the case, or is anybody else gonna be talking?
Myself and Janina from my office, she has the documents on her computer.
Okay,
I'm
all right.
between locations, so I apologize.
Okay, no problem. Both of you are gonna be in there, so Plato, raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, Gina, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, Plato, where the hell are you at?
You're
Yeah,
muted, Plato.
Yeah, I'm trying to do two things at once. I apologize. I thought we would be at 2:30. I had to go to another site, so I'm walking.
Okay,
on
no
the
problem,
sidewalk.
no problem. We can hear you, we can see you. No big deal. All right, whoever's gonna, Phil, you wanna read that into the record?
Yes, sir. This is case 5 on today's list, MI 2023-003-017 for the property located at 2228 to 2230 Fairmount Avenue. Plato A. Marinakos Jr. is our appellant. He's present in the room today.
Okay, whoever's gonna present the case, go ahead.
Thank you. Janina, you want to share the screen? So I'll give you a little bit of history. This restaurant is Zorba's restaurant. It's on two parcels, 2228 Fairmount and 22230 Fairmount. It's and there's it's a mixed use building. The first floor and basement are the restaurant use, dining area and kitchen, and the upstairs has residential units. It's a 3-story building. It has a egress out the back through an alley. And the reason we're here today is because the building doesn't have sprinklers. But I was able to convince the owner, Nick, from Zorba's to install a sprinkler system. So we just wanted to let you guys know that that's what's doing. He's already applied for the sprinkler permit. And with
I'm sorry. This is the reporter, Mr. Marinakis, you're fading in and out.
No, I apologize. He elected to put the sprinklers in. So that's the good news. So that's why
So-
we're here. Yeah.
Will this application be withdrawn then?
Well, we just, again, I don't know the procedure because I apologize. We just wanted to say that we're putting the sprinklers in so we can comply with the code because there was other things that the LNI mentioned about 1 hour doors with hallways and all that stuff that I don't know if that was constructed that way.
Oh.
So that's why we wanted to do this hearing so I could say, look, we're putting the sprinkler in. The building is safe to go forward as a multifamily building with
So
the.
what, are you gonna have two types of a sprinkler system in there, a 13 for the commercial and a 13R for the residential?
It's gonna be 13 all throughout because I
Okay.
think there's gonna be exposed pipe. I don't think he's gonna bust up the walls.
All right,
So the pipe would all be exposed.
okay, 13.
The Plato,
throughout.
the only refusal items you have are related to a sprinkler system.
Exactly. So, okay, yeah, I understand that. I'm just trying to dot my i's, cross my t's here. I know your board's time's valuable and if you want to withdraw the case, I think if that's the procedure you want to do, that's fine. I don't know, or say, we're putting the sprinklers in but I guess you can't really grant a variance for putting the sprinklers in, so.
If you put the sprinkler fence, if you put the sprinklers in, you become compliant.
Jace,
Okay.
what does he need to do?
I guess we would just state that it needs to be sprinklered in the on the proviso.
So we're denying the variance and we say it needs to be sprinkled.
Right.
That's all under sprinkler, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing the right thing. I convinced him and I told him it's good for the public safety, good for your clients, good for everybody involved. So, and he agreed. So,
Okay,
Good
that's
work.
it then. All right, keep walking,
Okay,
Plato, talk to you later,
Yeah.
good luck.
thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
All
Thanks.
right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Okay.